I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and I am sorry that we are running a little bit behind schedule here. I have to be honest. Woke up yesterday with a little bit of stomach blah, and then woke up about 5 o'clock this morning and thought, I think I need to get to the bathroom. And while I was taking care of that, it was like, I don't know. It was like either 4 o'clock, it was 5 o'clock, it was 6 o'clock. It was one of those o'clocks. I don't know actually what time, because we obviously went through the time portal last night. And right as I was going back to bed, my phone rang. And I thought, well, that's never good. And I looked down and it was my grandparents. And I think, that's never good. And so I set the phone down on the desk and it rang a second time. And I took a breath and I thought, all right, let's get this party started. And I clicked it over, and my grandmother said she was taking my grandfather to the hospital. Something was wrong with his shoulder, yada, yada, yada. She was kind of upset because, hey, he's a baby. Why is his shoulder hurt? He shouldn't have hurt it. He overworked it or underworked it or something, that effect. So we go to the hospital, and we sit at the hospital this morning and get the x-rays and do all of that. And amazingly, through a couple swipes of the rake yesterday afternoon, he actually managed to pop his new shoulder that he had done about a year and a half ago, pop it completely out of socket to where it was just dangling there. And he could not pick his arm up from his shoulder at all. He could bend it at the elbow, but he could not pick it up from the shoulder. So he got to look at her and be like, in your face, I was hurt. And so needless to say, they were dealing with that. Well, then as we got that wrapped up, I came home and I thought, man, I think I got something going wrong with me. Like I've got, apparently I heard at the hospital that there is some kind of a little stomach virus going around. And I can raise my hand and say, I have that stomach virus. So obviously what happens is immediately in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh shit, I need to get this out of my system by tomorrow, by Monday. definitely by Tuesday, because I will tell you, and not that we like to go too much in detail here. Who am I kidding? We go all the way in detail here. I haven't really left the upstairs, downstairs basement because I can't get too far away from the little boy's room, if you know what I mean. So it's been one of those days, and we just been kind of taking it slow here. It would have been as of the start of this live feed, we would have been T minus 33 hours away from the polls opening here in the great state of Indiana. But because we happened to be about 10 minutes late, it's actually 32 hours and some change. So, in other words, it's been a shitty day. I think that is that is pretty much absolutely could not have said it any better. So yeah, folks, we are we are 2 days away essentially. Basically, the way you can look at this is there are 2 more sleeps. So tonight, and then you'll wake up tomorrow, God willing, and then Monday you'll go to sleep Monday night, and then you'll wake up. Or basically, there are 2 more wake ups. You'll wake up Monday morning, and then you'll wake up Tuesday morning. So, however you want to look at it, there's two of something before the great day is here. And I will tell you, number one, first and foremost, we will be all hands on deck Tuesday night. I want to put this out here, and I want to let you guys know what's going to happen on Tuesday. I will have a lot of different running around like we have every election, whether it's the primary or the general, whether it's the city election, municipal election, or if it's a county election, county / state / like midterm, or if it's the presidential election. No matter which election it is, I'm always extremely busy running from here to there, doing various things all throughout East Central Indiana on election days, since I have stopped working inside the polls, and since I've stopped either being a candidate or specifically working for candidates. And I will be bringing you guys live updates all throughout the day. And I can tell you that the best way for you to stay up to date with that information is to subscribe to the show and to click the bell. Subscribe to the show here on YouTube. Really, I'm going to tell you there's really 4 things that you need to do. And for those that have these 4 things, it's real simple. For those of you who don't, kind of pick and choose what you got to do, what you want to do. I would tell you to subscribe here to YouTube. If you have a Rumble account, subscribe on Rumble to the Political Spotlight. Obviously, look out for us on Facebook. Okay. And when I say look out for us, I always post to the Political Spotlight Facebook page. But my main Political Spotlight page is my primary private account. Kristopher H. Bilbrey, my private account, I don't use as a private account. I use it as a show account. So that's the primary page. Our backup Facebook page is the actual account name. So look out for that. And then I'm going to try to do a lot of stuff on X, Twitter, and I'm going to try to do some things on TikTok this election. So just if you have those things, look around for us. We'll be there. But subscribe, hit the bell, do that. And then Tuesday night, what I'm hoping for is this is what I think we've decided to do. Hello, Heather. Hello. Thank you. Welcome. Join the crowd. Welcome to everybody. Here's what we're hoping to do. I have not talked to Catherine yet. Catherine's going to be jumping on here in a little bit. Just tonight. All right. So first of all, let me start out with saying tonight I see you. Obviously we see you down there straight away. So tonight we were supposed to have Scary Mary on, and we were going to do our Halloween themed show, which was going to be around some true crime related topics. But again, Friday night was my fault. Tonight was her fault. So she had something come up and we were not able to do it tonight. And she's like, well, I don't even think we're going to be able to call it a Halloween show at this point. And I said, well, we could always do the Nightmare Before Christmas in December. So we will have her on. That is a thing that we do yearly. We don't want to let that go. So we will have her on. But honestly, probably since we're just 2 nights out from the election, probably makes sense to hold off to that anyways. So big thing number one I want to tell you is tonight we're just going to kind of do some chit chat about the upcoming election in 2 days, honestly, because I just don't really feel that well. So we're trying to just kind of limp it along here, hoping that taking in some Imtrol and different things like that and drinking fluids, we'll be able to get this stomach virus out of here in a little over 24 hours. I hope we're close. And then do all of that stuff and then kick into what's going on. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware. On Tuesday night, we are going to go live here somewhere between 6:30 and 7. We're going to start our results coverage Tuesday night at about around that time. And I'm hoping to talk to Catherine. We'll talk to her here in a minute when she pops on about maybe having her stationed. She'll obviously be looking for things. And so she could go live from Madison County and tell us what they're dealing with. I have a source down in Henry County that'll hopefully be able to tell us what's going on. And then I'm going to talk to Audie to see if I can get Audie to go instead of me going to the Delaware County Courthouse. I'll be here and I'll have Audie go to the courthouse where he can do what I used to do there. And so we can kind of keep track and then keep track of what's going on in Randolph County as we follow the national election and the state election and everything. So Tuesday, the live coverage will be here early 6:30, 7:30 p.m. somewhere around in there, just as soon as I get back home and get things going. And we will be providing you live actual time live updates on national election. So the presidential election, the various swing states coming in. I am connected into a couple different news, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like a news pool. So it's like one feed, one thing that goes out to various news junkets. And so various people use the one feed. So we'll be following that. Of course, we'll be watching what's going on, obviously on CNN and Fox News and all of that stuff. So we'll be doing that here Tuesday night, which will be a really big thing. Tomorrow night, we have a Muncie City Council meeting. So we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. And then we want to talk about some things going on, obviously, in Madison County and just thoughts about statewide. But we might as well have Catherine pop on here since she's already down here in the duck. We'll pull her up. Catherine.
Hey.
What's happening?
Listen, it's been a day.
I think I might need some IV fluid, man. I don't know if you heard, but I talked to you this morning. I was in the hospital for my grandfather's shoulder deal, but I've got some kind of stomach thing going on. I need to get rid of this shit. before the election gets here. I gotta tell you that, right?
Well, I know somebody can make some stuff like that happen. I don't know why you didn't call me
Hey, let me
earlier.
ask you this: is it going around? Is that true? Is there some
It
kind of stomach
is.
thing going around?
It is. Usually it's gone in 24 hours.
Okay,
But,
well, I'm then
we
I
can
should
give you some
be.
medicines if we need to do that.
Let me tell you what we're dealing
Your
with.
timing
So,
is bad.
yeah, it's real bad. I'm hoping.
Are you
I
just in a shitty mess?
Yeah. It's not been good. It has not been good, I can tell you. So,
I know I got jokes.
yeah, well, so how's things going? We've had you
Well,
on here a lot lately, but I mean, things
listen,
are really going crazy,
it's been quite a day. I don't know. I
obviously.
didn't know my post on Facebook this morning was going to cause such a stir, but it certainly
God.
has. Do you guys have can you get on Facebook and do you have that Facebook page? I kind of want to go over it and that'll kind of guide us for tonight. Did I
Yeah,
send that to
which
you?
page?
Let me see. Heather, if you're watching, I think she is. Do you remember what page that's on that I sent her? She was looking at the comments. Let me see here.
Madison
It's
County.
on Madison County News and Current Events.
Oh, yeah. I've got that.
And then this can kind of just guide us through this whole thing. This one has caused, I've never seen, you know, people, if you hate what I post, keep scrolling. But I want you to know that I truly appreciate when you get on and we start to have discussion because this one has gotten like, I don't know, I got these two guys that just can't stand me. And I don't know, it's got like over 70 comments. So that's just shot it up in the feed. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Hey, listen, there is no such thing as like hate. I mean, hate is
right.
great, is what I say. Hate is great because it magnifies you. It is what it is. That God, hold on here. Okay, sorry, I was connecting this to the thing, and that got me a little wonky here. Hold on, check. All right, here we go. Oops. So yeah, here's the feed.
Okay, so this is the post. Now, we're going to start from the beginning. What even generated this post? That this very first picture. Do you see where this says that we have voting tomorrow until noon at the courthouse?
Yes.
Well, what time does it start?
What time does it start?
Well, I'm asking you.
Okay.
Again,
It should
another
start.
epic failure for the lack of attention to
Wait a
detail.
minute. I don't even see what this is. What is this? Monday, November 4th. No satellite voting. Voting courthouse until noon.
Yeah. What times it start?
So I would say that it should start at, well, ours starts at 8:00.
Yeah. So go to the next page.
What time does yours start?
We'll go to the next picture. So then right here it says November 4th until noon. I mean, you could assume that it's at 8:00, but this is what's generated. This is the chaos that goes on in Madison County.
But wait a minute though. Why would you assume it's at 8:00? Because the rest of your early voting has started at 10:00.
Yes, but then you have different hours at the courthouse from 8 to 4. This is what I'm trying to show here
Yeah.
is the chaos and confusion that
Yeah.
goes on in Madison County. Now, I don't know if somewhere in their brains that they feel like this makes sense,
Well, listen, they know when it is.
right?
So it's like they know when it is.
Thank you, Mr. Cloud there, who has I appreciate that. Because I want you to know today, I've kind of just been disgusted for the majority of the day today. As someone tells me they don't like my delivery, I don't really, at this point, people, you need to understand, I used to be really nice. And it used to be really fun. I used to be really, oh, let me say it this way and be very, but after 4 years of watching all this and the number of times I've been gavelled, my bullshit meter is now on tilt.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just going to see Katherine in a raw. The bottom line is this, their friends and family all know what time everything is, but they don't care if we are confused. So
Well,
this
yeah.
is what started the whole ball rolling that people are upset with. So I'm listening to people tell me how upset they are with this post, but I want you to
Because
understand.
what is it? So because you sent this to me, but I
So here's
only had a second to look. But so I'm just going to assume it's that you're like nitpicking, and this is just
so
shit
here's what I said.
stirring.
Here's what my post says. How do you
Okay.
spell election disaster in Madison County? You spell elected clerk Linda Smith's name. Look at these pictures. It states we have voting until noon tomorrow, but what time does it start? Again, another epic failure by the incompetence of this county and the elected officials. No wonder people are confused as to what can be done and what can't be done during the election process. It took a lot of searching, but it appears you can start at 8 a.m. at the courthouse until noon tomorrow. Vote for Change, Crooms, Grabowski, and Reese for county council. If you vote straight ticket, it will not pick up your school board or county council. So make sure that the ballot is initialed. I'm overwhelmed with all the pictures and complaints that are being sent to me during the whole process. And a lot of times, you guys, this one I was on my way to Costco writing it in the car. I was not driving. I encourage everyone to get their phones out, record, take pictures, get names, count how many people are working in the polls. All my posts are generated from people reaching out to me. I don't come up with this stuff on my own, people. This is
Yeah.
it. The time has come. Get as many as you can to the polls. Why do they do the last open day to vote at the courthouse? Now, does anybody know why it's the last day is at the courthouse and why all the beginning? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because your elected officials get to walk up and down the hallway saying they're going to the bathroom and greet people. This isn't rocket science. The sign says no electioneering. But the consistent complaints of the number of times Rick Gardner and the swamp are stopping and shaking hands in the hallway with people waiting in line to vote is within 50 feet from the chute. Yes, I have requested camera footage weeks ago and no one is willing to comply. I imagine they need time to edit the video. And of course, they need to kick the can down the road so their candidate can win. So this is kind of what has started this whole process. But if you look at the pictures, the first two, you're to assume what is going on with you vote till noon. Then you go to the third picture. And that
Okay.
third picture again is the same way. You can vote until noon, but nobody really knows. I mean, that one tells you that you can vote 6 to 6 on November 5th. So then is the courthouse open at 6? Is it open at 8? Is it open at 10? And then until noon? What is it, people? So I had to keep searching. And I also included the election number in there if anybody has problems.
Yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't call these people because we know they're going to brush it under the rug and they're going to hide it. I would probably call the federal number, but you can do what you want if you still have trust in these people. I don't have anything for these people at this point. So then we go on to the third picture. Now, this is what's published in the paper. Okay. So I have different snippets of what's published in the paper. When you look at this one again in the paper, it says November 4th until noon.
That is insane.
What time does it start?
November 4th until noon. So, I mean, to me, November 4th, if you want to get really technical, it's like, what is that, midnight?
Yes. I mean, this is
Obviously
the
it's
thing
not, but
with this whole thing. It's just a disaster. So finally, I get to another part of the posting, and finally it says 8 to noon. So if there's any of you who've been messaging and putting your comments on there, I only will document it if I can prove it.
yeah.
Like I'm
You
not going
only
to just
yeah.
so I'm proving to you that yes, disaster is election room Linda Clerk. Their leader is just I don't even know where to begin with. There's no words actually, because at this point, she has no idea what she's doing. She does not have a team behind her that has any attention to detail. The whole department needs to be dissolved, and we need to caucus in somebody who can actually hire competent people. I'm sick and tired of people saying it's just their job. This is a real deal here, people. This is more than just a job you've signed up for. This is dealing with people's lives. This is dealing with our tax dollars. You know, if you don't get an election vote right, this is a problem. So as we go on to the next picture, I kind of posted, know your rights. We've gone over this before. People, you can have your cell phones out. I had somebody get on the post and they're like, hey, listen, I just want to make sure that Katherine's making sure all of you guys know that you can only take pictures of yourself. You can't take pictures of anybody else in the polls or them voting. I think I say that like a broken record. I'm very clear about that. And that's fine if she wants to get on there and have her moments to tell me whatever. So then we go on and I tell people electioneering, watch for that. If people are within 50 feet of the chute, you're going to see all of this taking place.
Yeah.
So we go on with all the different rules and who you can call. Now, if we go through these little rules and we get to Tucker Carlson, that's what has spun this out of control. This has just made people lose their mind.
None of our leaders are punished for lying. Instead, regular people are punished for telling the truth. Now, I'll tell you what your problem is. If you would have cut off
Tucker Carlson's
name, everyone would have been going, yeah, right, Katherine,
right?
you saying
well,
it.
Let me
right,
tell you
right,
something.
yeah.
What I just said in one of the posts, I am never going to take somebody else's words and use them as my own.
Yeah.
I don't care if you like Tucker, if you don't like Tucker.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is I'm not going to take credit for something that isn't my own. I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
And this, I feel I can publish this. Why? Because I was removed from a county council meeting for telling the truth.
Yeah, right.
While the commissioners stood up there and lied. So these people who want to sit here and ramble on, go ahead. I don't care. And I know that's exactly what their problem is. Oh, well, it's Tucker Carlson. Again, you can't say all or none. You can't say that I always say things the correct way all the time, or I never say things correctly all the time. So if something applies just because you don't like a person, give them credit. What is wrong with people?
Oh, how many if you go and you get online and you look through, like, you just go to like 1,000 of the most strongest inspiration quotes, you'll see quotes from like Marx, and there are quotes from Stalin. Imagine if Stalin had said, leaders are not punished for lying, instead people are punished for telling the truth. Like, people be like, oh, that's Stalin, you don't want to post that. But if the words are true, the words are true, man. And it is what it is. You don't have to like Tucker Carlson or what he stands for, whatever, but those words are true words.
I mean, if this is your biggest problem with the post, well, okay, but it's true.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I've seen look at Russ Willis get up there and just point blank lie. Linda does the same thing. They all do it.
Well,
and nothing happens. I mean, literally, we have it on film that Joswiak was turned away, that he was not allowed to canvass, and they lied about it, even to the point where Russ is like, we've got to stop this. These people can't speak. If they speak, they're going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And nothing is happening.
Well,
his whole situation was referred to the state police.
Absolutely. And for the people who are like, well, wait a minute, we're in Delaware County. Just take it back to the election meeting where I'm going in, and I simply tried to apply the same logic. I applied Indiana state code, the same, the rules and guidelines that the Indiana Delaware County Election Board in our county had set up for the candidates running for office in 2023. Everything they applied towards the candidates in 2023, I tried to apply to candidates that it was relevant for in 2024. But I was told, no, precedent doesn't matter. What happened last year doesn't matter. It's basically a case-by-case basis, so all they were telling us was, when it benefits you, it doesn't matter. When it hurts you, it matters.
Right.
And that's how
And
government is set up.
and like Cheryl says, well, let's take a tape measure like Russ did. Absolutely, because I can tell you right now that we could really get into the argument. So if I went diagonally through the walls, he violated the 50-foot rule,
Sure.
right? But if I go the long way in the hallways, are we at the 50-foot rule? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. When the line has gotten so long in the county building that it goes out by security, all those people are within 50 feet. Every time they
Yeah.
walk out of that front door to go to the bathroom, they're within 50 feet. It should never be over at the county building anymore. Plus, I have no idea why we have it at the county building because we're paying all this overtime to sheriffs. Send it over to the library. The library is open 7 days a week. They can go over there and they can vote over at the library. This makes no sense. In Elwood, they're closing down the courts for 2 weeks and then they tell you how backed up they are. Why are you doing this? I mean, this again is another way for them to control their narrative, and it's disgusting.
Well, I also go ahead.
This was the whole. So as we go on to the next one, again, this will apply not just to Madison County, but you got to make sure that there's initials in both boxes.
Yes,
That
yes.
wasn't happening. The printer wasn't printing out that, so people did not know they're supposed to check for this stuff. So make sure you guys are checking for that, or it makes it null and void.
Well, now wait a minute. This does not apply to it. We should be done with this now. Wait a minute. No, I don't want to speak for you guys. Do you guys still deal with the initials on Tuesday? We only deal with initials. The only time anyone in Delaware County deals with the initials is if they absentee mail-in ballot.
I think these are supposed to be printed. Well, I know they're supposed to be printing them out right now when people are voting.
Yeah, see,
Early
we don't
voting.
do that.
Early voting. Yeah, this was a big thing over here. On Monday, when the printers weren't printing right, it was caught that both these initials weren't in there. So I've made several posts. And so right here, one's saying, yes, we do. So this has to be on the card. I don't know about election day.
That's
But we
crazy.
still do have some people who are going to vote tomorrow.
See, this is really a convoluted. You guys really, the system that they have set up in Madison County is really, in my opinion, a system where they have implemented so much
chaos
crap,
so it can be manipulated.
so it can be so that more things can be wrong, more ballots can be thrown out, or just crap can happen because, and the reason I say that is, like, here in a minute we're gonna watch a video of a young man voting. He went in and he videoed it and he put it out on social media. So he put it out there. He wanted the world to see what he did, and we're gonna watch that. Well, and I watched through this step, and it was insane.
Well, and listen to Daniel Maynard. He said, I had to print mine out and put it in the envelope and then put it in the box.
Yeah.
Now, people, Madison County ran out of the correct envelopes for these ballots. So they had to move to more like an 8.5 by 11 envelope to put it in there. So there's a lot of wiggle room in that, the envelope. But here's the thing. I've heard in Elwood complaints that people were not printing this off. They weren't putting them inside the envelopes. They were outside the envelopes. They were sealing the envelopes. There were multiple things going on. Well, because now the election board says that they have met and they have overstaffed our polls. That's not true, because what was happening is that they didn't have enough poll workers. So they didn't see that people were sealing the envelope. And then they had the ballot on the outside of the envelope. So then they had to open the envelopes, unseal them, and put these in there. Well, that's going to make it real tough. How do we know what's being tampered with over there at
Yeah.
at the courthouse. The other thing is that they're opening the ballot boxes at the end of the night at the poll sites, and they're counting how many's in there to make sure their numbers match. Well, what if they have 20 ballots and there's only 19 that they had registered to vote? Do they
Let
throw
me ask
someone's randomly out? I don't
let me
know.
ask you a question. When they hold the poll worker, I think we talked about this once before, but I can't recall. When they hold the poll worker training, is that something that they allow, like you would be allowed to go to?
I think you can only be a poll worker to go there. Anybody should be able to
Anyone
attend
should be
it.
able to go there.
Right? But Russ makes it where it's only poll workers who can attend, which is complete, and he won't let them record it, which is complete crap.
That is
See, and
that is
here's the other thing. Some had glue sticks to seal the envelope. In one of the polls, somebody licked their envelope to close it, and they were getting screamed at. Who cares? Just seal the thing. I don't care how it gets sealed. So I mean, and people are sending me this stuff that it's actually happening to them.
listen. So I'm going to try.
I mean, this is like Operation Chaos
Yeah.
every single election in Madison
Yeah.
County.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
completely,
gonna
just like
try to.
Kevin says, chaos creates
Yeah.
confusion, and they
Absolutely.
know this. Absolutely, they do.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if this is a person who loves Russ Willis and he's all pissed off on Facebook because he's like, you're the one that's making this people fear this. No, what I'm doing is telling the people what their rights are, what they're entitled to. They have the right to know this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, on the next pages, I tell people, here's the hotline because I don't trust the Madison County people. Like, here's the hotline for you people if you run into problems. I give you the federal numbers. I will tell you, my niece came home this weekend and somebody had called me on the phone and we were in the car and they said, if we have a problem, my niece is 23 years old. She is a pilot. She flies commercial airlines, like, and she spouted off this number before I could even. She was, you just call 1-866-R-VOTE to complain if you got a federal problem. I'm glad to see that a young person like that's very aware, but that's because, she was raised in Washington, D.C., so she's very aware of what happens, so, we got lots of problems here. I was told some people were just using the machine, not printing them off and leaving with their ballot still in the machine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a real problem. This is a real problem, and I will say, anybody who's out there and you're on the fence, if you should vote for Miss Crooms or you shouldn't, let me tell you something. She's got to be the number one advocate in Madison County behind me and Sean as far as things that are completely wrong in this county. I mean, she has never in her 7 decades of being on this earth seen more chaos, more corruption, more colluding than ever before. I mean, we might as well call her Rosa Parks at this
Yeah.
point because she's been uncovering so much. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, and that's the thing. First of all, I haven't voted yet. I'm going to try to go vote tomorrow if I can get in early. If not, I'll go vote. I'll stand in line on election day. But you are going to fall over whenever, either tomorrow or Tuesday, whenever I play it. You, specifically the people of Madison County, are going to fall over when you see the ease with which we vote in Delaware County. And I don't mean, look, folks, the FBI was here. We've had 7 people arrested while in the governing. We've got massive chaos and corruption here. Both parties are total chaos going on. Shit has hit the fan. And everybody in government that you currently talk to are like, dude, it's off the rails right now. That being said, the vote process tends to be a little easier over here. And I just mean from the point of you walk into the machine, the person puts a card in the machine comes on, and that's your ballot. You touch the buttons on the machine and you hit like rectify ballot, and it prints it off on a piece of paper that you don't see, that you can't get to. It's in a glass box, and you check it right there. Yes, I voted for this person. Yes, I voted for this person. Yep. And then you hit enter, and it sucks it up into a machine. You never touch anything. There's nothing with initials. There's no glue sticks. There's no envelopes. The only time you mess with envelopes and initials is when you mail in an absentee ballot. And our early voting walk-in is the exact same thing as day of walk-in. There's no difference. And
we have a completely different ordeal.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the whole, this is the whole thing. What's going on in Madison County should not be happening. But we have to have an elected clerk who's willing to speak for the people. Olivia Pratt, she was just as worthless as Linda is.
Yeah.
And then she just blamed everybody else for having an 8-hour standing in line,
Yeah.
And how many people did we lose? I mean, and I can't even imagine how many people we've lost through this whole process here in Madison County on some of the days. Some people have told me they've returned 3 or 4 times before they ever got to vote over a week's time.
Really crazy.
Again, I put this up here. This is why I put Tucker's comment up there. I don't care if you like him or not. But at what point? This has been referred to the Indiana State Police. No charges have been. It's been 5 months. And here's the thing. Now we're going to let him continue to oversee the polls.
Yeah. Who's he going to screw with this time?
Somebody shared this, and it may have been somebody from your group at some point. Nobody vote counts more than yours. Unless you don't vote, then everybody's vote counts more than yours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Although they should have made that red and blue. Again, and this is the whole thing I want people to understand. Home rules, this crap about Russ Willis and his statutes, it doesn't supersede state code.
Yeah.
When Todd Culp violated filling out his application in February, he should have been removed from the ballot. So should have Richwine. Yeah. But I will tell you that God is good and there is a plan. And I just see complete disaster of those two as we move in with them staying in those seats. They wanted it that bad. Well, let me tell you something. Cheaters never win. And winners never cheat.
Yeah.
And right here, these are just things from the Herald Bulletin that I wanted to post so that people could see, like, I'm really looking at this stuff, following it closely. No, I didn't catch the until noon until today because, there's so many days involved. I can't, do a million things. If I was being paid by the taxpayers to do it, and it was my only job, Linda Smith, I probably would be doing a much better job.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, just some things to think about. Again, these are some of the other sites. What else do we have up here that, okay, so we're probably back to the beginning. I don't know if you can look at any of the comments on this post. But I want to give them a little attention.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
So how many? 64 responses? 84. What's that number? 84?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it was a good post. I mean,
all comments. Okay. So, and I read through some of this, and I got to interject some of this. So, very first thing we see here, this dude. I don't know this guy. I don't know him. He's a private citizen.
He's new. I've never encountered him before. This is the first time I have. His profile says he lives in Indianapolis. He says he lives in Anderson. I don't really care where he lives. I'm glad you came to my post. I'm glad you generated a lot of comments.
Yeah.
But clearly I can tell from what he's watching, either he's part of the swamp or he's completely clueless as to what is going on in Madison County.
What I was going to say is, I don't care about this gentleman particularly. I know you don't one way or another either. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Here's the thing. I read this and instantly I was like, oh, this guy is a Mike Jones. So the very first thing he does, he doesn't come out hitting. He doesn't come out being like negative to you, just dismissive. I thought the voting process was quick, easy, and professional. Well, good for you. You know what? When I go to vote, when you go to vote, I'm sure the process will be quick, easy, and professional. Here's the problem. The problem is for the people that it isn't quick, easy, and professional for. The problem is the people that go there that are just the common, everyday, normal people that are just standing in line. They left on lunch and they got 10 minutes till they get back to lunch. They got to get through this and get this done. They got to go pick up their kid from school. And, that's the little old grandma that's going to vote. It's these people who get there and get yelled at and they get told all the stuff and the people are standing over their shoulders and it's total chaos. It's those people. And so the fact that this guy, and Aaron, I'm going to get to that here in just a few moments because I want to talk about this. We're going to look at your video here in a minute, if that's okay. Matter of fact, I know you put it out on social media. Are you okay, sir, if I play at least part of your video on here before I do it? Can you give me the okay, yes or no, before I do it? If you don't want me to, I won't. That's fine, but I would like to if you're okay with that. But so okay, great. I'm cool, sir. That like you've had a good experience and all of your friends and family have had a good experience. But surely you're not so naive to believe that everyone has had a good experience. And look, I know Henry County is not Madison County or Marion County or wherever this guy lives, but I can tell you of one man that went to, just one so far that went to vote and was, totally screwed over. And it was a big ordeal and they weren't going to. And so we had to call and yell and carry on. And then they finally said, okay, yeah, all right, we can do it, but, so it's crazy. So I see that you get back on here and
this is a part I want to read to people.
Yeah.
This is a message in Messenger. Okay.
Yeah.
I received this Friday afternoon out of nowhere. Hello. I saw you posted about voting in the community page. I have never voted as I am only 20, but I would like to this year. I am registered. Which that was exciting when she said she was registered because I thought, oh, this is going to go where she isn't registered. You can't register the day of voting. So I was excited when she said, I am registered. Am I able to go to any poll? So I said, yes, you may go to any poll. If you would like one of us to go with you, we would be happy to assist. You need your driver's license. This is how I interact with people privately.
Sure.
So you don't see me swaying her. You don't see me doing anything like this is a random person that I've never met. She goes, thank you very much. I think my grandma is going with me. So I said, excellent. If you want to keep your grandmother with you, they can have you fill out a piece of paper and she can stay with you the whole time. If for some reason they push back and will not allow you to do this, I want you to pull out your phone and you can either start recording it or you can call me on my cell phone and you keep calling me until I answer it. And I gave her my personal cell phone and she says, thank you so much. I said, I appreciate you voting. I said, do not vote a straight ticket. You want to pick and choose your candidates. Otherwise, you will miss some. Tell grandma too.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You can pick 3 for the county council. And I said, vote Grabowski, Crooms, and Reese for county council or Holtzleiter Collins. So, I'm not trying my own agenda. All I'm trying is when I see that a 20-year-old has seen this, who wants to reach out to me and say, I saw your post, then this has all been worth it.
Yeah.
And so, why she wasn't taught this in government class, it's because every government teacher should have every kid out on a field trip at the polls on
Yeah.
election day. That
Oh,
should be a
God.
class field trip.
Absolutely. Listen, election day should be a federal holiday.
Yes.
Everyone should be off work, except the poll people. And
Yeah, here's Teresa saying
yeah.
we had a person come
Yeah.
from Indy and said the commercial said you could vote anywhere. You know,
Mm,
Stumblefoot, phones are considered dangerous weapons to some people.
that's
They
true.
are. They are. But you know what, Stumblefoot, in Madison County, these people think it's stardom. Like, you can't touch me. I can do whatever I want. I
Yeah.
can, and it's and we have them on film stopping people. But when I look at people like this who are trying to derail the whole post and take away from it and tell me I'm not professional, I'm not telling the truth. How dare me comment on Tucker Carlson? Well, in Madison County, if you've been paying attention, I don't think there is one Madison County person who is on this thread tonight who will tell you that that comment that's made by Tucker Carlson doesn't apply to Madison County. Not one person could tell you
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking to this guy, do you have your head stuck in a hole somewhere?
Yeah.
Because I don't know where you've been, but I clearly haven't seen you at a county council meeting. I clearly haven't seen you anywhere in these threads. So why, and of course I sent him, join us in this and have this conversation. So this is kind of where I wanted just everybody, if you haven't seen these comments, I do encourage you to go look at them, because in every bit of this, I use this platform to show him so many errors. I mean, go back up to that picture that I have up there. Go back up just a little bit. That
This
picture
one,
right there. This is chaos right here. Click on that and look at the green part of that picture.
trying to get it to pop up here. Hold on.
Now, this one was at Crossroads.
It won't let me click on it.
Okay, this one was at Crossroads Church on the door. And what it says like October 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. And then it says October 1st and October 2nd, instead of it going to November 1st and November 2nd, right? Telling you what times to vote. It's just the carelessness. It's just absolutely unbelievable that this is on voting sites. I just can't even imagine that people can be this reckless. I can't imagine what people are told at the polls. If you get somebody who's experienced like Teresa, you're going to be okay. But if you get some Joe Blow who this is their first election, it is just mass chaos.
Yeah.
So then, and so you can read through those things. Some people are like, oh, now that you've voted Tucker Carlson, I don't know that I can even listen to you or believe anything you say anymore. Your choice.
Now that you voted Tucker Carlson.
Or now that I've quoted Tucker Carlson, that's your choice. I'm never going to use somebody else's work as my own. I don't care. I don't care. And the one that I want to use that I can't use is the comment of, if the truth shall kill them, then let them die. Well, you can't use that, because then people are thinking I'm like going to harm them. No, that's not what I'm saying. If the truth is the truth and they are no longer in their position because the truth is what got them out of it, so be it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
There's no reason for it.
It's just total chaos.
The top two are the ones where it says voting until noon on November 4th. So it's just misleading all the way across. Ask me if I care if there's no smoking in there.
Yeah, right.
What that has to do with the election, I have no idea. I get it's probably a sign they normally have it, but give me a break. So anyway, so that's kind of a problem. There's another problem I want to share with you too before we get on to the video that was sent to me. I'm wondering if you can put this up. So I got a message tonight from somebody, and I'm not going to say her name, but she's watching tonight. And she says to me, Katherine, we're looking at let me see here. We're looking at, people where they can vote and stuff. So I went and pulled my record. Okay. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to send this to you in Messenger, Chris, if you can pull this up. Now I'm in Lapel. Okay. So if I'm in Lapel, I should technically.
What are you sending it to me on?
I'm sending it to Messenger. And if Rebecca Crooms is watching this is kind of interesting. So I'm in Lapel, okay, and those two pictures I sent to you. When I pull up what's on my ballot and what I need to look at, I have Lapel Frankton School District, but I also have Anderson Community School District. Or not Anderson. Yeah, Anderson Community School District, okay? So how I got alarmed with this is somebody's up in Elwood, and Elwood has Elwood School District and Anderson Community Schools. So now I'm going to have to find somebody in Alexandria. Why is Anderson School District showing up on everybody's information? I don't know if it's on the ballot, but it's in, when you go to indianavoters.com and you look at what's on my ballot. For some reason, Anderson School Corporation is on everybody's Indiana, where it shows your ballot. It's the strangest thing. Okay. So this is my ballot. See who and what is on your ballot, right?
Yeah.
So this is me. I'm in Lapel. I don't know why I'm seeing Anderson. So go to the next picture.
This is probably just some kind of a
well, the Anderson people only see Anderson. Okay, so it was Cheryl who started it. She's like, you can see my name. Okay. And this is what I want people to understand. I'm never going to throw somebody out there
who
doesn't want to, so I try to be very careful with that. So see how this says Anderson, and I have nothing to do with Anderson School Board, only Frankton Lapel.
Yeah.
So, this is just one of those things that I just kind of want to bring to everybody's attention. So watch your ballots. If you are in Elwood, Alexandria, Frankton Lapel, and you get your ballot and these names show up on there, now we've got a bigger concern. But right now it could just be a glitch on that page. I have no idea or how Linda Smith codes it, that Anderson School Board showing up on everybody in Madison County.
That's strange.
It is very strange. So anyways, but yeah, I think Aaron's video is a great thing for tonight as we're getting so close to the election now.
Let me see
if we want to show that.
Get that poll up here.
Oh, they put the no smoking signs when they put up our signs. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they normally are put in the election kit.
I would just think people know you're not supposed to smoke in there, but I don't know. I guess they could say you could just assume that you start voting at 8. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, here we go. And so I've got all kinds of questions about this again. And thank God we don't. I mean, this is not something that we deal with in Delaware County. I don't know if they do.
So when you vote in Delaware County, can you vote at the government center?
Yeah.
So do you have to strip before you can go in there to vote?
Yeah, you do not have to strip before you can go in there. And I'll have it known that I have asked this question now 3 different ways to everyone's favorite sheriff, John Ben Gale's bitch Beeman. And he's, I guess Ben Gale hasn't told him he can respond to me, so he hasn't. But I would like to know. Okay, oops, all right, it's up here.
As long as I can do this properly.
Here. So, okay. All right. So you notice here, what he does is he scans back and forth looking at the signs on the door. All right. No smoking. So he decides to not go in with smoking. No weapons. He doesn't take in any weapons. And it tells him, some things about voting, and it tells him no electioneering, da-da-da-da-da. Now, it's amazing. Hold on 1 second here. It's amazing that it's letting him and other people know not to electioneer, but that doesn't mean anything for Rick Gardner or other
John
people.
Richwine,
Yeah.
Todd
They
Cole.
they can apparently electioneer, but you just don't want anyone else. They wouldn't want like a Marquest Higgins electioneering.
If I was in there, they would be
like
losing their minds.
Oh yeah. Hold on, let it loading. Apparently my my internet is having some stomach issues too. So bear with me here, folks. We've been doing so good with this here lately, and then all of a sudden, it keeps you humble, because it's like all of a sudden I think like, man, things are working so wonderfully, and then every now and then we get
Teresa,
this.
I agree with you. If it's not posted, they can do it.
What?
This is Aaron, everybody. You get to meet Aaron.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
this is Nicole's better half.
Yeah. So we'll get this.
I applaud Aaron for doing this.
Yeah.
This was a very brave thing to do.
Hey, everybody, we're back at it.
Everyone. Yeah.
As long as I can do this properly. At the Madison County Courthouse. Hopefully there's not a big long line. Hi there.
You vote?
Yeah.
You have a belt on?
They ask him if he's here to vote. He says yes, and then they say strip.
Yeah.
Belts have to
Now
come
listen to
off.
this.
All of them have to come off. Yeah. From now on. And watches, if you have a watch on.
Telling him he's got to take his belt off.
What's the purpose of removing the belt?
And
Sheriff.
And okay, so this is the part that frustrates the hell out of me. I gotta breathe before I start. Okay, so they tell him he's got to take off his belt, like TSA, take off your belt, and he says, "My belt is plastic." I don't know what kind of a plastic belt there is, but he says my belt is plastic. And they're like, that's okay. You got to take it off anyways. And he says a very logical thing to that. He doesn't say, I'm not going to do it. He doesn't say, no, you're an asshole, or this is effing stupid. He just says, what's the purpose of taking off a belt? And the answer is not a logical answer. If they're going to do this, they need to know why. The answer he's given is, you got to talk to the sheriff about that. Wait a minute. You're standing here at a door enforcing some bullshit and you don't even know why? Don't you think you ought to know? Don't you think, John Beeman, you ought to tell your guys at the door why they're doing what they're doing? Shame on you and shame on them for neither one of you having the wherewithal to talk to the other one about why this is going on. This is a stupid request. I have never heard this. This must have just started. And so my question to Mr. Beeman is, why? Okay, good. We'll do it. Everybody will comply. Great. Why? What caused this? What occurred that this became a thing? Because honestly, it's really asinine. I mean, to be perfectly honest, but we'll do it. Everybody will do it. Whatever. But why?
He hasn't told you?
Okay. Anything else? Do you have anything else mental in your pocket?
I like that. I like that. He says, Aaron says, what's the purpose? And he says, you'll have to talk to the sheriff. And Aaron must have thought, well, that's a pretty stupid answer. So Aaron says, he hasn't told you, to which the guy just decides to be a prick and say, anything else in your pockets? Wait, dude, are you deaf? That's good of the sheriff's department to hire someone deaf to work. Like, that's amazing, honestly.
Which way think?
Can I go on there? He hasn't told. Go on there.
So real quick, because I know, and I want to make sure that we said it. I want to make sure that he heard me say it again, just so there's no confusion, because I know that he does watch this. Madison County Sheriff John Ben Gale's bitch Beeman, please respond to me and tell me, no hard feelings about this. What is the point of this? I'm cool with it. I just want to know why. I want to know why. I would think that would be a reason to know why. I don't, like Kate says, maybe he's got a cheat sheet, but
Can I put it back on? Can I put it back on?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're good.
yeah, right.
Do you like my little hand wave?
Where is the video? Oh, they might be going through the box still.
Is it posted anywhere where I can look?
What is happening here?
Sheriff's order.
Windows.
He's trying to get dressed, so he's had to lay his phone down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand. So there's.
Why didn't they have him take his shoes off?
Dude, it's like the TSA around here.
Keys.
We need one of those machines where you get in and they.
Yeah.
Hey. Well,
Now he's passing the auditor's door right
That was
there as he's
interesting.
walking.
apparently.
Now he's passing the commissioner's door as he's
You have to
walking.
take off your belt to come in through the. Here's a quick look at all
Sample
the
ballots that people can take
sample
pictures of.
ballots that you're not supposed to take, or you can
What?
get charged with theft.
Yeah, I'm shocked you're allowed to take pictures of that. They should have came out and karate chopped him.
Hello. Ready. Are you ladies waiting?
No, you're good.
Okay. Hello.
If you let her take her off, finish up.
Sure.
See, you can
Hi.
answer your phone, everybody. You can use your phone. It's okay.
All right, you got your phone. Your previous address. There's your current address. No signs.
What's your
address?
3228 Spring Hill Road.
Oh my God.
What is your name?
Mary.
Hi, Mary.
They
Thank
should have
you
asked for her phone
Are you
number.
volunteering?
Oh, yeah.
Here, thank you. Thank you.
I'm here.
You're not getting paid to do this, right?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at these signature
Well, don't worry
screens.
about it. We've seen some real doozies.
Well, my last name is Kapuscinski,
Oh,
and
boy.
it's hard to. Okay.
We don't have to spell it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to say it.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take it in the lady down there in the bar.
All right, Hi. Thank you.
Yes, this gentleman right here can get you started.
All right.
Right here.
All right.
Okay. You can put your billfold up.
Okay.
We found driver's license laid back under the machine.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Sign where it says signature of voter,
Okay.
and right below that is the date. Today is 11/2.
So this was just yesterday, people.
Yeah, this was
11/2/24.
Okay, this is one in there. First question is amending the state constitution.
Okay.
It's about taking a person out of the line of succession, but there's already 7th or 8th down the line.
Okay.
They got that forward of world of hurt anyway.
Okay.
If you want to answer that, then we can get to the ballot.
Okay.
Uh,
I think I know the
Now, at this
process.
point,
Do you
I
need
was
to
like,
explain
is this
any
dude going to stand here the whole
secrets today, or-
time?
No, are you gonna vote?
No, not straight ticket. No.
You'll.
And then did you hear how the guy was kind of prompting him to vote straight ticket?
And I have another video of this same gentleman doing the same thing to another voter.
That's really interesting. So the guy says he walks him through the first question, which now listen here, and folks out there, because I'm getting a lot of people saying, I don't know what these things are. Let me tell you what this first question is. So the first question is asking if we as citizens of Indiana want to amend our Constitution, because what they've done is we used to have a Secretary of Public Instruction, and that was a position that we voted on. And a couple of years ago, actually, she's running for governor right now. She was the last person that we voted for, and they decided, no, that's a position that the governor should appoint. I'm not in favor of giving our politicians any more power. They already can't handle what they've got. I would rather people have the power. And so I'm telling everybody, it's not a Republican or Democrat thing. This is just the voters should have the more power. So no, we should not do this. We should not change this, and we should not amend the Constitution. This position should be elected by the people, period. And so when I vote here, I'm going to obviously vote no. I'm telling everyone else to vote no. And, it is what it is. But that's what that is. So after he reads that question, he's like, all right, go that one, and then we can get on to the ballot. Like, he's going to stand there. And I was watching this, and I was like, no, I don't think so. Like, get out of here, dude. And Aaron does that, like, more polite than, like, what I would have been polite to him, but Aaron's polite to him. And it's just really weird, because then the old man says, we get onto the ballot. Are you going to vote? He stops, but you can tell. I'm gonna back it up just so you can hear it again. And I want to know from the viewers: am I wrong, or do you get the impression this man was trying to ask or tell him to vote straight ticket? Listen, I want you to listen to it again.
But they've already 7th or 8th down the line.
Okay.
They got that forward of world of hurt anyway.
Okay.
If you want to answer that, then we can get to the ballot.
Okay. I think I know the process. Do you need to explain any secrets today, or
No, are you gonna vote?
no? Not straight ticket. No.
You'll when you get after you do this, when you get to the part where it shows the two parties,
Yes.
you'll hit that twice, and that takes you to the ballot.
Great.
No, Aaron, you're cool, bro.
Okay.
When
I
you
get it.
Done, you have to review,
Yes.
and then they'll have a thing there that says print card, and print it, put in the envelope, use the glue stick to seal it, and
All right.
share the bottom.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Any questions? I'll be right here.
Okay. What's your name?
Leroy.
Leroy.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm not
Thank
mad
you.
at Leroy, or it's
You
just,
wish to
it's
vote
weird.
on
Like,
a
if they're
public
telling them to do that,
question.
they should not be telling them to do that.
Constitution of the state of Indiana be amended to remove the state superintendent of public instruction and list of office holders who shall discharge the power.
And I want to show you, this is very big about what happens here. Because you see right here,
Can I skip this first question? Okay.
Okay. Now I want to say
Got
something
it.
about this. I want to say
Yes.
something about this.
yes, that's
Okay.
what I was just saying.
I commend Aaron.
Yes,
If you don't know, don't just blindly give somebody a vote
Yes.
either way. And
yeah,
that's what I told my daughters. If you don't know, don't even give it,
yes,
right? Because that's worse. So I commend him for saying, you know
Yes.
what? I don't have enough knowledge on that. I'm not going to do that. But we, the people, should have done a better job about getting that information out there so that people could vote. And this is kind of how I look at that whole question. We weren't made to be a society that everything got over here in this pack and one person gets to control everything. But that's how all these politicians are trying to do it. Just like with House Bill 1338, let's not let the people speak anymore, and let's take all the control, even to the point, and I'm telling you, Gaskell, I'm not on the same train as him anymore. I'm off it.
Yeah.
Because I was, but after this House Bill 1338,
Yeah.
and after the fact that like they wanted to take all the health officers' powers away, and they wanted all that power, that his whole goal, all I'm seeing right now is control, 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 control until nobody has anything out here anymore. Now I see it, and I'm not on that train. So I mean, it doesn't matter. His son's already blocked me that I can't post this. He's taking down things that I'm posting. That is not okay. That is not who I want anywhere near me or around me. And I'm sorry if people don't like my delivery. Let me tell you something. You're always going to know where you stand with me. And when things aren't right, you're going to know that too. Because at this point, what the Gaskells are beginning to show me, they are no different from Russ Willis. Hey, we don't like what you have to say, blocked. Hey, we don't like who you're promoting, blocked. You know what? Who are you to tell me who I can promote or who I can't, or what I can or what I cannot say? That's wrong. In so many ways, it's wrong. So, I mean, and I really like Kelly Gaskell. I do. I know there's people that are not a fan of her. I do. Kelly's always been, she's always been a champion. I think she's done a great job. But now I understand why Kelly's been put in some of the positions she's put in once I'm seeing how the men behave in her family. So I apologize to you, Kelly, but I'm telling you, their actions are screaming. They're not just speaking, they're screaming at this point. So, that's the whole thing. And so I commend you, Aaron, for what you've done. We want to watch the rest of the film that he's got on there.
I know that he videoed who he voted for and all that, but I mean, obviously he put it out there. If people want to go look, they can find it. I'm not going to put out all of his ballot. But I wanted to show him walking through the security thing, which was preposterous. And then I wanted to show the interaction with the guy that like I said, I don't think the older gentleman meant any harm. It's just weird. And then I wanted to show, I do want to show a very thing at the very end. But I wanted to show that question because I wanted to highlight the fact what you said, that he skipped it. Folks, I've always known when I went in to vote, like every aspect. I mean, maybe when I was 16 or whatever, I didn't. I've always known everything on the ballot. That does not mean I've always voted. I have actually walked into an election before, and I have the entire ballot, I've cast one vote and then walked out, leaving everything else blank because of the specific scenario or whatever. It is perfectly fine. People think that spoils the ballot. It does not. And the other thing, and we talk about it all the time, don't vote straight ticket. Now, I'm not telling you don't vote for all Democrats if you choose, or all Republicans if you choose, or all Libertarian if you choose. You can do that, but go down through and do it
manually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go through each section manually.
Because if you go through and you select straight Republican and then you hit finish, you will not vote for your council people at large. It'll leave that blank. And you will not vote for your school board people, which some people are like, I don't care. You should care, specifically if you've got kids. If it's your district and you're there, you should care. But you definitely want to not leave your council people blank if you plan to vote. So they need to take straight button off and make people go down through, but they won't because it's too powerful to them. Okay, now, real quick, I do want to go to the end of the video here and show them what happens kind of here. at the end, because this is where I say basically like this is total chaos, because at the end of the period in Delaware County, once you go through and you make all your selections on the machine, there's a real big red button, and it says like, validate vote or something to that effect, and you press it, and then it goes bing, and it prints out this receipt looking thing that is in a enclosed glass, like metal box with a window on the top of it, and it can show you hard copy everyone you voted for. And if there's a discrepancy, you don't just send it through. You tell someone, hey, there's a discrepancy here. But if it takes you to that screen and you've hit enter and everything's good, you then hit enter once again, and it sucks it up into the machine, and you've cast your vote. No signatures, no licking envelopes, no super glue. I mean, all that stuff is just added nonsense, in my opinion. Okay. Here we go.
Print card.
So he now prints this thing. I also want to say at this point, what they've just done here, voting here, in my opinion, does not look like anything that happened when they did the public test. Now, I might be wrong.
No, we didn't print anything. No, you're right. It's nothing like the public test. I watched it last night.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So I want to say this. In Delaware County, when we go in and do the public test is exactly like what happens between the 28-day period before the election, walk-in voting. It's the exact same thing that happens in the public test, and day of voting. See, there's no difference between early walk-in and day of. It's the exact same thing. The only thing that is different is our mail-in. Our mail-in is different, but our day of and our early walk-in vote are all the same. And that's what they test. Madison County tests something that does not look like their day of. And to me, that's what they need to be testing. And I don't know if anyone at the Secretary of State's office knows that this is not what they're testing. I don't know, but it's sure bizarre. Which also brings up the question,
because we didn't print anything out that I can remember.
No,
at the election at all.
I was, and
I don't recall any of the bubble sheets. I mean, when I go in there, I don't see Aaron having a bubble sheet in his hand. I don't know what we're doing.
Which then brings up the question, wait a minute. So if this is the ballot and all this shit that's going on election day, and this is not what happened at the public test, what did Larry take? And is what Larry take, is it really the same thing as day of vote? Because they kept saying it was the same thing as day of vote, and it's certainly not. Whatever Larry took is not the same thing as what you get ready to see in Aaron's hand right here. And if I was Larry's defense attorney, I would take this video right here. I would put it up. I would play it first, and then I would play the day of, and I would be like, Your Honor, I don't know what we're doing here. Because the public test never had a manila envelope like that. They never had some kind of receipt paper like this. They never had.
You see how big the envelope is compared to the
receipt.
The receipt.
Sign your name on the envelope. Right here. Yes.
This is all designed for people to screw up.
Right.
Leroy, I think we're all set.
So this
Thank
box
you,
has been
sir.
altered. That box has been altered, that he's getting
Thanks
ready
for
to put his ballot in.
volunteering. Thank you.
Because the line where you was only big enough to insert the smaller ones,
Yeah.
and now they've widened it and have cut it. I think that's an election violation. You can't just go and alter equipment to your satisfaction. I mean, Linda can't even order the correct amount of envelopes. I mean, what is wrong with these people? So we can
Yeah.
watch the rest of Aaron's
It's
thing.
it's
'Cause
done. He just walks out.
okay. Well, I was hearing some chatter in the back after Aaron left, but I need to go back and listen to what that chatter at the end. But so there's a lot of problems with that box being altered as well. I get it, but on the very first day voting over at Cross Street, the box was so full, people were jamming in ballots. Well, what if they're too crinkled and the machine doesn't pick them up correctly? You know how like you feed dollar bills into a machine and those if they're not exactly um, proper or they're too crinkled, the machine won't take them. So now I'm worried as they were shoving him in, they were shaking the box, they were doing all kinds of things to get that. The reason why they don't open the box while anybody's in there is because they know they're not supposed to open these boxes and count the ballots, but that's what they're doing.
Well, they
They're
don't want
counting
to
them.
see that. Hey, I do want to say this real briefly. Seems like the last couple of days we've been talking about all this various loss of people on the show. I do want to say this. Aaron is saying he has to go to bed. I guess they have things to do with the funeral arrangements or whatnot. But his mother-in-law, Nicole, her mother passed on Friday, kind of unexpectedly. She'd been in the hospital, been ill, but they didn't think they thought she was on recovery, like coming home. So that's unfortunate. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to them and dealing with that, obviously. So that sucks. But yeah, so prayers to you guys, obviously. Yeah.
So prayers for them. In here, Teresa says it was done before the test. All they tested was the DS200 that counts the votes on election day. I thought they had to do more than that for the public test, but
I'm just telling you, Marion County doesn't do what Madison County does, Delaware County doesn't do. And I kind of look at like, all right, Indianapolis is testing like, I'm telling you, Madison County does some weird shit for its public test.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if it meets.
Well, we do weird stuff just for voting.
Well, yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know that it meets the definition of, I don't think it meets what the state has in mind for showing that this shit works. Because look, what you want to know works is you go in and what you're pushing, because there's been claims out there, and this is where people are going to be like, look, they're conspiracy theorists. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying there are claims out there that people have made in the past that, like, you go up and you press person A, and when you press person A, it shows a vote for person B. Now, look, I've never seen that. It's never happened to me, but I'm sure there's some kind of fluke out there. And that's the whole point. And that's the whole point why it has to use the actual people who's on the ballot rather than made up fake names. Because at the end of the day, if you make up fake names, Daffy Duck, Donald Duck, Roger Rabbit, all this stuff, if you put those people through on test day, when it comes to actual ballot day, you're like, well, wait a minute, how do I know that when I'm pressing Donald Trump, it's actually going to Donald Trump and not Kamala or, whatever. And so that's why they're supposed to it's supposed to be an actual test, but that's not what I'm seeing in Madison County.
Yeah, well, we're Madison County doesn't even know what Madison's seeing. I'm so confused at the end of the day. Every day I'm getting something new or I'm getting something different. So it'll be real interesting. I'm kind of excited to see election day finally get here, to see what people are going to be sending me on the day of election. I have marked my entire office out for that day. So I will be free at any given time all day long. If people are calling or messaging me, they're having problems at the polls. And that's, to me, what I can give back to the community. Maybe nobody will call me, and that's okay too. But at least I made myself available for the people, because
Uh,
if somebody might have done that for me, I might have gotten involved a lot earlier. I don't know. But, so I kind of wanted to share with what we should be thinking about as we move in. I don't know what you guys are talking about tomorrow night. I wasn't planning on all this coming in tonight. It's just that my phone's been blowing up all day.
yeah.
So we'll just take it from here. Cheryl will be doing some investigations on her part as they go into testing on Tuesday as well. I kind of would hope if Cheryl's around, if she can go in and get where she can go in video her parents or whoever are voting, that would be a win. Because I have a feeling how it's going to take place might be a little bit different than what's going to happen, what Aaron just did.
Yeah.
So we don't need to see all what they vote, but just the process in which it's occurring. So this will be interesting. Again, a lot of this is disgusting. A lot of it's disappointing, but don't give up. Continue to keep voting. This is the only way through it. I encourage you to tell your neighbor, take your neighbor. There's somebody who needs a ride to the polls. Let me know. We can probably
Yes.
get that done for you and get you there. So I just know that I'm around and I'm happy to help wherever I can. And we'll have to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then Teresa says the machine is just printing a machine. That's why I tell them to look at the vote and make sure it's what they voted. Is there a way, if they did vote and get to the end and print it, that they can go back and change that? Because if that's the case, then why is it that once people pull a Republican or Democrat ticket in the primary, why can't they back it out and change them out and let them go to the party in which they've chosen? So many
See,
people showed
again,
up in the
that's some weird
primary
ass.
and
That's some
said,
weird ass
hey,
Madison County shit, because in Delaware County, if you tell if there's a mistake and they hear the wrong thing and they give you something that you didn't ask for, they can just switch it. So that again,
oh
that's
no, in
weird
Madison
shit
County,
you
once
guys
you've
do.
pulled a Republican ticket, you are sold, or a Democrat in the primary. They absolutely, because there were several people who would get up there and they're like, Catherine's not on our, well, you pulled a Democrat ticket. You had to pull a Republican. Well, there's nothing we can do. We can't go back.
Yeah.
You
She
know,
says there will not be a box that will be placed in the DS 200.
I don't know. Wherever I go on the day I vote, there's some big box and I take that ticket and I dump it in that looks like a big trash can.
Well, you need to get pictures of that video
Oh,
then,
I'm going to
if you
get,
can.
oh, you better believe I'm going to get pictures of this
And
stuff.
so Tuesday night, will you be available for me to pop on and give
Yeah,
us some
so I'm
results?
hoping Tuesday night I'll be able to join you. If we have some last minute things that come up tomorrow night,
Yeah.
that might come out
Now,
tomorrow.
tomorrow night's going to be a late night, just FYI, because, and once when we wrap up with you, I'm going to go over some Muncie stuff real quick. But we've got a Muncie City Council meeting tomorrow
Okay.
that is slated to go late.
Okay.
So,
Well,
but
I'm
I'll keep
not
you posted.
I'm not planning on having any issues arise tomorrow. I mean, the polls are only open for
Sure.
4 hours,
Yeah,
but
right.
so
Yeah,
but if
keep me
there's
posted.
anything I can do, let me know.
Yeah.
And then I'll be around Thursday popping in and out. So if you hit me up and you're going live, I
You
can
mean
tell you what's
Tuesday?
going on.
You mean
And then I can get
Tuesday?
on with the night.
You mean Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah, I'll be
Tuesday.
around all day at different
Okay.
polls. So if you're out and about doing something and
Yeah.
you want to, pop on and
Yeah.
talk about something
Yeah, we'll
like at
do that.
lunchtime and give some updates, we
Yeah,
can
we can
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
That works for
So,
me.
all right. Well, thanks for letting me jump on here tonight.
Yep,
It was
no
a last
problem.
minute thing, but I appreciate you. And, Teresa, thanks for always working the polls for us and helping us understand some things better. So we appreciate her too. So good luck to
Absolutely.
Rebecca Crooms, Fred Reese, Christy Grabowski, of course, Mark West Higgins. We hope that he does well in the commissioner's race. So, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. We'll see. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. If you need anything, let me know.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You guys have a good night.
Yep, you too. Thank
right,
you.
see ya.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Katherine Callahan, and that was some of the nonsense going on, obviously, in Madison County. It's going on elsewhere besides Madison County. It's just another crazy, crazy day over there. While we get ready to wrap up here, I do want to talk about a couple things here that I do think are of importance for people to be aware of because I feel like it's something that I feel like it's something that people should know. I was looking at this, I guess last night I was looking at this, and I think it's kind of interesting. Let me get this pulled up here. As I do that, I also want to go here, and I'm going to pull up a post on Facebook. Oh no, that's not right. Yeah, right, here we go. All right, let me pull this up and see what there was a post by a woman that I feel like is important for you to see. Let's see here. 5 hours ago. 9 hours ago. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is important, okay? This was yesterday morning, all right? This is the wife of our current Delaware County elected clerk. And she says yesterday, now keep in mind yesterday was Saturday. Okay. She says yesterday, Rick says they have voted 1,000 people today, and there are people still in line. Okay. I want to get down here into the comments because okay, today Delaware County voted 1,070 people, a total of 13,500 early in-person votes. In previous elections, the highest one day total was 696. Okay, so I want to be clear that I had seen someplace, and I want to look and see. I want to be 100% sure. I thought that I had saw someplace that they had said that Delaware County has voted between 15 and about 15 or almost 18,000 early walk-in votes. Okay. That is not counting mail-in. All right. I think that's going to be it. There. But I want to show you this other thing to keep in mind. So let's just use the 13,000. Let's just use the 13,500 that she said there. Okay. If we go and we look back at the Delaware County history of the election results in Delaware County, and if we go to 2020, all right, 2020's general election, we're going to go to the election summary, and we're going to blow this up so you guys can see it. All right. This is interesting. Okay. 13,500. So 13,500 people is what they're saying, is what her post said. I've also heard it's been as high as 18,000. I don't know that that's true. We're only going to go with the 13,500. All right, 13,500 people for walk-in voting. All right. You can see here, this is election day, 28,185. Mail-in ballots, 8,344. Walk-in absentee was 12,309. So if it's to be believed that we have voted 13,500 to 18,000, I mean 18,000, 13,500 would only be 1,000 more. So it'd be like, okay, that's not, so crazy. But if we're talking 15, 16, 17, 18,000, that is a pretty big deal. So it'll be interesting to see what's happened. I know Madison County said that they've done 10,000 in the last 2 weeks, 10,000 one week and 10,000 the next week. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just saying those are the rumors that are going around. I want to, real quick while we're looking, I'm going to pull up the Star Press here and see if they have any. I've not looked at the newspaper today. I want to see if they have anything in the newspaper that shows or tells what the total is. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything here. Amazing, man, that we are 2 days. This is also something I want to show you guys. This is just really a sad state of things. It really just shows you where we are. Okay. Let me get to this and show you. Here's the Star Press. It's 10:52 p.m. This is live, 10:52 p.m. as I'm broadcasting this on Sunday, November 3rd. We are coming up on, 30 hours until the election. And look at this, the top headlines. Nothing about the election. Nothing about the election here. Nothing in what I would call the above the fold section of the paper. Up here in the banner, they used to run a special elections banner where they would have election information. They don't do that. Let's go down here and look. Let's see if there's any special election coverage down in the back sections. Yeah, nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the sad state of things. I mean, here we are a day and a half out from the biggest election of our time, and you're not getting anything about it in the local paper. No wonder the people of Muncie and Delaware County is so apathetic. It's no wonder that there is just nothing being printed in our newspapers about what's going on at the state level, or our local races or the federal races. I mean, nothing, no opinions. They, no letters to the editor. Do they have a space for candidates to write in? like they've normally done in the past. What is going on? And so I'm just keep that stuff in mind, folks. You can't turn to the Star Press. I don't know what WLBC is going to be doing, but I'm sure that it's going to be in between today's top hits. So I'm just reminding everybody on Tuesday, keep it tuned right here. And the absolute single best way to know what is going on in East Central and Central Indiana, meaning Marion County, Madison County, Delaware County, Randolph County, Henry County, those areas, the best way to do that is for you and hopefully we'll have the internet shit taken care of by then. The best way for you to do that is to subscribe to, and it's pissing me off. Don't feel good. I'm not in the mood for it. Is to subscribe to the show and click the bell. Do what you got to do to click the bell and do that. We will have the bugs worked out by Tuesday. I can promise you that. So do that. We will be back here. Remember, election day is 6 to 6 Tuesday, 6A to 6P. This damn thing. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but the video's acting wonky. Stand by. So keep it tuned here. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Muncie City Council meeting. That link is already up and it's posted on YouTube. We will be live streaming the entire meeting, and we will be here right after the meeting ends. I don't know how long the meeting's going to take, but we will be here tomorrow evening to break it down and to discuss it and to talk about any last minute Tuesday election stuff. So tune in for that on tomorrow. That's Monday. And then remember, absolutely the other thing that is important is if you want to connect with us, remember our YouTube link is here, right here, youtube.com/@ the political spotlight. Our Rumble link is rumble.com/C/the political spotlight, or just go to Rumble and look us up. As soon as this thing starts acting a little bit better, I will figure out what's going on here, or go to X. On X, we are x.com/Bilbrey Live. And then the Facebook obviously is Bilbrey, Kristopher H. Bilbrey on Facebook, or facebook.com/Bilbrey318, or the Political Spotlight on Facebook. You can find those there at the Political Spotlight or Bilbrey318. And then lastly is tiktok.com/@ the Political Spotlight. Check all of that stuff out, and we will, damn this thing. Check all of that stuff out, and we will be back here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for the council meeting, directly following the council meeting for our live recap, and then on and off all day Tuesday during election day. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Have a great day at work tomorrow. And if you haven't voted, get out and get to it. Let's get it done. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the meeting. And then at 9 p.m. or whenever the meeting is over, following the meeting. And I don't know if you're even hearing me because everything's paused, and we're going to try to kill it because I'm pissed off. So, all right, have a good night. God bless, and we'll see you next time, hopefully with better internet connection. Good night. Goodbye.